Nation. This is season 3, episode 3 of the Diamond Niner Gals, and I am joined here back again. She missed last week by Anna.
Hi.
And as always, we have Nick and Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
What it is, Niner Nation.
As always, producer Brad.
Hey.
And Courtney.
How we doing?
I'm good. I had a fun time watching all the games except San Diego State, which I will tell you, I screamed at my TV / the person holding the remote that they messed up. I said, find the game right now. So I was a little disappointed.
The weather was unfortunate and moved us fields, and they had already broken down the cameras. So unfortunate for the fans not to have that one on stream and on video, but definitely a good game.
How bad are you missing those Clearwater temps, Coach?
The what? The temps?
Temps.
I got back and I was like, what is this? It's cold. And looking ahead, we changed the game because it was going to be cold and rainy / snowy. But gosh, I'm going to have to find that sweatshirt and the parka for tomorrow and this weekend. Not looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. It was cold here this weekend.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it. Cold and rainy.
That's great. Well, I think too, having not been there last week, I've got lots of questions, lots of things that I want to dive into with you, Courtney. Like Madison, I watched a lot of games this weekend. Wasn't able to catch them all, but at least did my research. So if we want to jump into it, I'm sure all of us have something to say. So without further ado, we can get started.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, Courtney, I'll go back to last week. You said we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, playing some really good teams. And I think we learned we can produce offensively. I think we learned that we can put some runs up there. Can you kind of walk us through your offensive approach as a coach going into a big weekend like this, playing 5 teams? Is it pitcher to pitcher? Is it team to team? Or is it kind of an overall approach for all the hitters?
Yeah, I think, love to see what our offense was able to do this weekend, put up a lot of runs, on good pitching, on really good opponents. And we've been talking that, it's going to help us, it's going to benefit us to play, these tough teams early, face the tough pitchers, face, our pitchers facing tough hitters. And I think offensively, the approach is, pitcher to pitcher, team to team, but our lineup was pretty consistent for the most part. And, I think when you face 5 opponents, it's hard to kind of scout and say, this is what we're going to see the most of this week or this. And, I think we saw a lot of everything. We saw good up, we saw good down. And, for us, I think it's just different when you're facing rise. You're kind of trying to cut it a little bit more, trying to work low line drives. And then when you're facing a drop ball pitcher, you're working a little bit more to kind of get under it, to counter basically what the ball's trying to do and just kind of send it back the way it came from. So, really happy with the production, happy with, the runs scored, and just putting together competitive at bats up and down the lineup. Didn't matter the opponent. Really liked what we saw there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the announcers, she had mentioned that all our hitters got deep in some counts. Like, we got deep in there, saw the pitches we wanted to, and it worked out for the majority of the games.
Yeah, I felt like, again, we were tough outs up and down the lineup. Whether we were getting into, swinging at the first best pitch, whether we were getting into deeper counts, we definitely made it hard on our opponents. And, just really like to see the growth from weekend to weekend and game to game. And I think just kind of getting a little bit more comfortable with our lineup and, just seeing the better pitching, definitely felt like we competed well and made it tough on our opponents.
Definitely.
I agree. I think one stat I saw that I hope is true, is that 14 of the 16 teams that competed this past weekend were played in the 2024 NCAA tournament. So I think that in itself speaks for the fact that you guys, not only were you high level competition, but playing against some just really high level competition. And I think, regardless of what the box scores ended up saying, you guys you put up a good fight. And I hope nonetheless that the girls, especially some of the younger girls, some of the newer girls, just moving forward, take this as encouragement, if anything, and just consider it lessons learned. You take it, you learn from it, you move on. And all that to be said, where would you say the girls' heads are at right now as a whole?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm sure that pretty much every one of those teams that were in there made the tournament. I know for sure the 5 that we played were, again, I think obviously it ended on a tough note for us, having one bad inning and then getting walked off to end the weekend really, put a little bit of a damper on what we were actually able to accomplish there. I think that overall as a team and, what we're kind of stressing as a staff is like we competed pretty much in every game. The UCLA game, I mean, they got away from us a little bit. Again, they have some really impressive hitters, but really other than that, we competed really hard with 5 teams that, depending on what poll you're seeing, they're all in the top 25. And, just really impressed with what we were able to do and how hard we competed. And again, kind of talking about the offense, how many good at bats, good swings we were able to put up there. And really, we scored in a lot of different ways. We had a lot of situational at bats. We hit for some power, especially in some big moments. And just we're really able to compete hard there. I think for us, we know that we've got to get better on the defensive side. And, it's Clearwater. We're playing on some rec fields. It's a little bit different surface, but, you can say that had a little bit of an effect, but I don't think that it was a big piece of it. I think it was just, the game getting sped up. And for us, we know where we got to be better and we know where we got to work really hard to improve. And I think that as a team, we see the positive and, we know that we were right there and a lot of our mistakes were self-inflicted and things that we can clean up. But for us to be able to compete so well with the type of quality teams we played was really encouraging. And, I think we all feel that. Hopefully we're kind of going to continue the positive flow.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think, like I said, the girls should use this as motivating force. To your point, a lot of the damage that was done could have been avoidable on our side. It's not as if we were playing teams that had a lot more, lead than we did. So I think it's promise nonetheless, which I'm excited about. I hope the girls are excited about. But yeah, we'll just use it as ammo.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. Just gotta keep getting better and see the positives.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Coach.
Welcome back.
Well, we're just hanging out here. Maddie and Anna don't need any help, but I'm dying to ask about something here. So when I saw the graphic come out with the lineup, I noticed an unusual name at catcher. I thought it was a mistake. I thought, Livy at catcher? That's just a typo. That the graphic got messed up or something like that. But no, there was Livy playing catcher down in Clearwater. I know if she's ever done that here, I don't recall it. I mean, what was that process like? Has she been working on that? Did she catch in high school or travel ball or something or anything? I mean, I don't. Walk us through that process and that conversation with her where you're like, hey, Livy, you're catching.
Yeah, she has caught in high school. Again, going back to like the summer even, for a lot of the time, I guess my first couple weeks, we didn't have a catcher on the team. And so as I was talking with Liv and, talking to the returners and people, they said, oh, like Olivia, she caught in high school like she can. I think she might have caught some bullpens and stuff, but I honestly hasn't been like a long-term thing. I think she caught a bullpen or two in the fall for us, just kind of being her and wanting to jump in. But just kind of as we went through January and really as we've gotten closer to the season, it's been in our heads that maybe it could happen. But I think just, catching is a position for us that we have a lot of inexperience at. We've got, Addison, who's gotten the majority of our innings already as a freshman. And, she's done a great job. But, there are things that we just want to try to shore up and, see if, Liv catches. Can we make our lineup stronger? Or again, I think it's really hard. And I've said this, it's hard for catchers to catch 56 games in a year. I don't think it's really possible, especially when there's, 2 games in a day. It takes a toll. And we have Gracie Suggs on the team as well, who hasn't gotten as much action, but definitely somebody back there that we trust as well. But really just trying to do what we can to shore up the defense, to make our lineup the strongest. And, it was really something last week that we decided to kind of go a little bit more, go in a little bit more with. And she caught some bullpens last week. We had bad weather, so she didn't really get a lot of practice time. Got a few reps when we got down to Clearwater in practice, and got some reps with some pitchers today. But she was kind of just thrown in there and did a great job. We appreciate just, her willingness to, she hasn't been a catcher at this level, and just her willingness to get back there and kind of do what we need her to do and, have that selfless attitude and team first mentality. So, I think when I ask her, she says, absolutely, I'll do whatever you want. But I think in her mind, she's like, oh crap, here we go. But, she did a great job and, just a real athlete, natural back there, has a great arm. So enjoyed seeing her out there in the squat, and definitely something that, we'll kind of see how much it progresses and how much it continues. But I really liked kind of the lineup we were able to throw out there, and with Christina getting out there in center field and having Breland in left. So again, it's just I've said this, like, I like messing with the lineup. I like being able to kind of put people in and out, not in like a yanking or anything, just like being able to kind of tinker and, let people kind of see the game from a different side of things. And, I like being able to do that. And for us, it was just another option.
Nick stole my question. I wanted to ask you about it.
No, so and that was that would have been better for you coming from your experience, Maddie. But last week I stole producer Brad's intro phrase, and this week I stole your question. So everybody tune in next week to find out what I steal next week.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut so you can't steal anything.
Solid strategy.
Sounds like I'm next on the lineup. But
watch out.
I'm just gonna jump in the background again.
There you go.
That's better question. But what I was going to say is, honestly, what you're saying about Liv is she is such an athlete. She is such I didn't have the pleasure of playing with Liv, but I've gotten to watch her and know her personally. And she really is like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Totally. Like, she has full confidence. And honestly, it's so fun to watch her play in the outfield and have that confidence. But honestly, bringing it to the catching position is something that is needed, to have that kind of confidence of her being able to do it. How do you think the catching positions has affected your pitchers? I mean, going into these 5 games, playing some great teams, like we've said, how do you think your pitchers handled that? And then changing up catchers, do you think it had any effect on it, or were they good? They didn't care.
I thought it was positive. I'm trying to think of the games. Liv has caught Brooke probably the most. And I think for the most part, that's who she was catching. So, there was a piece there that there was familiarity and they're, really good friends. So there's a lot of trust there anyways. But I felt like our pitchers handled it well. I felt like Liv handled it well. I'm pretty sure when we went to Aubrey in the Auburn game, Liv said, "What do you throw?" And I was like, okay, awesome. But, again, I think it's just being an athlete and, I thought she was a calming presence back there for our pitchers and, for the whole field. As a catcher, you're kind of the general and you're able to see everything. And I thought she did a really good job there.
I agree. I know she caught in high school. She told me that when she first came. She goes, I'm a catcher.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she is.
We're like, you? Are you sure?
We're gonna have to put it on the website now.
Yeah. We'll make some calls. I mean, she might be the fastest catcher in all of the NCAA, but we'll take it.
She hit well when she was back there too. So come on.
There you go. We got something rolling.
No, I think to continue the trend though of people in, I guess, uncomfortable positions. Savannah Wynn, I did have the luxury of playing with. Love Savannah. She's a great teammate, a great person. She's a great player. But seeing her at first base was a foreign concept. So, it's obvious you put anyone in a spot that they don't know, and there's going to be some discomfort there. But it seems like she totally embraced it and was just working through it as the games went on. Is that kind of a permanent position for her, or how you guys looking to utilize her there moving forward?
Yeah, we've had Sav at first a lot more than we've had Liv catching, but we've kind of bounced a lot of the infielders around at times. She did play there a little bit in the fall. I'd say the majority of her practice time had been at second. But again, I think all of our infielders, we do a good job of kind of getting them a little bit everywhere and kind of working together with that. She's definitely one of the first basemen that you see with the second baseman glove or the infield glove. So she was laughing about that. But, again, I think for us, it's about just putting people in positions to, shore up our defense and to just how do we put the best lineup in there and how do we put the best defensive alignment and what makes sense. I don't know, how it will all shake out. Again, I think Emma's been coming back from an injury. So not knowing exactly what we were going to get from her and how it was all going to line up, where's she going to be? Where are we going to be as a team? But, Kari's very capable of being at first as well. And she got those first few games when we were down at LSU. I could see her being back there. We've been working Breland out at first base as well. But really, I felt like when we took Kari off of first base and had her in the DP, she really settled down and was able to really focus on the hitting. And I think that's, paid off. And we saw her have a really great weekend this weekend. And so, again, it's all movable for me. And, we're just trying to figure out how do we solidify the defense. Obviously, that's our big thing. We've been harping on it. I think we played 10 games. We've made 23 errors. That ain't good. So we've got to get better there. And whoever gives us the best shot on any given day, that's who's going to be out there.
That's awesome. I think too, just half the battle is people being willing to try a different position or people being willing to be swapped around. And it sounds to me like everyone is all hands on deck and everyone's playing for the person next to them. And I think with that, you talk about having foundation and just having a culture, like that's what it takes. And I think with that being a starting point, I got, not that I needed any more faith, but I got full faith that the Niners are on the uptick. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that they know that about me at this point. They know that we'll mix some things up and we'll put people in different positions. And again, it's all about how do we compete the best on any given day. And that looks different at times, but that's kind of what we want to do. and, I've enjoyed seeing people in different spots, and, the two that we're talking about, probably the biggest ones that have been moved and stuff. So, we're just going to keep on working and keep on trying to get better and trying to shore the defensive side up so that we can back our pitchers up a little bit better.
Love it.
I mean, we talked about it last week. We move it around. Lineup's never going to look all the same, which can get boring that way. I guess going forward, though, looking at, the rest of the season, how do you think we will go forward handling shifting people around? It's a big responsibility for multiple girls in different positions. How do you guys as coaches handle, making sure that everyone knows what they're doing? What's kind of the approach to letting them know, in big situations when maybe it's getting a little sped up, like you had mentioned? How do you guys calm it down?
Yeah, I mean, I think just trying to get some practice time in those spots that they're going to be. And, we just want to – I've said from the beginning, like, hey, you need to know every position. Like, we need to see the bigger picture as athletes. And, you can't be so hyper-focused on your position that you don't know what anybody else is doing. I think that the way a team plays best and most cohesive is when you know that you're supposed to be here, but your teammate's going to be where they need to be. And I think that part of that is just everybody knowing where that is. And again, it's learning some new positions. It's learning, the nuances of things. And, again, I don't expect us to be perfect, but I expect us to play to a standard, and I expect us to learn through things. And hey, if we're gonna make a mistake because we're not in the right position, like we're gonna learn, and then the next time we need to be in the right position. So I think that there's a little bit of grace there, but it's also like you need to know where you're gonna be, and we've all played softball for a lot of our lives. Like, we should know kind of how things shift and where things go. And I think that we're seeing them at practice do a pretty good job of that, and constantly asking questions and making sure, they're doing the right thing here and there. So for us, we just want to be there to support and to make sure that, we're telling them where to be and what the right thing is. But, it's just about having a feel and being able to play the game.
That's awesome. I mean, as a catcher, I'm a little biased. I feel like some positions don't care what other positions are doing. So it's a great perspective that everyone on the field should know what everyone else is doing. So it's nice to hear from my ears.
Us outfielders, our awareness isn't always on level 10, but
you got to know where you're throwing. You got to be able to hear them.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. But the catcher tells us where to throw. So.
Yeah. But again, you could have a field. It's in the gap. They're getting second, or it's hard in the gap, and you might have a shot at second. Like, you have a feel of those types of plays, and then you use everybody else to help you from there. And then it's the middles that kind of like, I'm here, and going forward. So I say it a lot, like, we're in an individual, like, team sport. It's very weird how it is, but each individual have to make the right plays and be in the right spot for the team.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true. I think too, one thing that probably isn't mentioned enough with this being your first time as a head coach, like, this is new to you too, not the sport itself, but the university, the responsibility, the team, everything. So all that to be said, what are some ways that you are working on navigating through, managing how to keep yourself cool during a close game, or understanding the ins and outs of how to approach different players, or kind of what have been some of your major takeaways in learning yourself through all this too?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, I am, still learning, right? We all are. And I'm going to learn through things. And I think it's very easy to go back and second guess. Like, maybe I should have started, or we should have started, a different pitcher in this inning, or maybe we should have pulled the pitcher one inning before, or one pitch before, or one batter before, or, pinch hitter here and there. I feel like I've always I've been lucky. Like, I feel like I've always been involved in a lot of the lineup conversations and the play callings, whether it's first and thirds or this or that. Like, I feel like I've been involved in that stuff, and I understand kind of, when to do what, but it is still learning. And part of that is learning the girls on our team now and the personnel and, just who can get out of what, in regards to pitchers, or, who's our clutch hitter, who is our this. And I think for me, I've leaned on my staff. I've leaned on, Jake, Alyssa, and Bailey. And, I trust their opinions. We kind of talk within the game. We talk post game, like, it's very much a staff that has a lot of trust with each other. And, we are doing and trying to do everything that we can to put our girls in the best position to have success. And, for us, we are learning how to manage that and myself kind of making the decisions. But, I think that we're learning a lot about our girls and about, what we need to do when. And, I don't know if there's a science for that or it's still chance at times. And, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and you're going to make the right decision or you're going to, make the wrong decision. You just got to go with your gut and, do your best to, again, put the girls in the best situation for them to be successful.
Well said.
Coach, along those same lines, I had to ask, how do you like the in-game interviews as a head coach?
Yeah, they're interesting. Looking good. Yeah. Tegan got me there. I think it was her.
I think I have her placing the crown on your head. Yeah.
Nope.
It's not getting there.
That needs to be canvassed and framed somewhere in the new facility.
Yeah, I was all caught up in the course after that.
I know.
But no, I mean, definitely different, a new experience. But I like it. I haven't been the one doing it, so I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. But it's good, and I think it's good to kind of get the coach's perspective of things. And there were a lot of great broadcasters and people calling the games this weekend that I enjoyed talking with and enjoyed getting to talk about our girls and the team within the game or kind of right in the game. And luckily, they weren't in the worst moments for us. So, they were good. It was different, though. I'll have to continue to get used to that.
Yeah, I bet it's not super helpful when you're getting, you're getting a chain on you, you're getting a crown, all of this stuff.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm used to chaos, so that's fine.
Yeah. I guess a personal question, were you the type of player who would do stuff like that, or is that a newer thing to you? I know some coaches when they played were more stoic, and some coaches when they played were more laid back and funny, and I guess wearing crowns.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's sort of a newer thing to ambush.
What would you guess?
I'm
gonna guess that you weren't putting crowns and chains on when you played.
See, I was gonna go the exact opposite. I feel like she was the one who was like cartwheeling to first base.
I was kind of the clown. I like to have a good time. I like to keep things light. I always felt like I was able to do that and still be able to perform my best. So I don't know about the crowns. There weren't as many in-game interviews back then. So I will say my senior year at Nebraska, I had the team mascot, and it was like a little green ball that I found it in like one of our BP sessions at our first tournament of the year. And it was like this green stress ball that had like a face on it. So that ended up being like our mascot as we went through the whole thing. So I am that person that is a little bit out there that likes to just kind of keep everybody loose.
Isn't it funny that sometimes we have to hyper fixate on something like a green stress ball with a smiley face just to get through season.
Yeah, I brought it out for all the home runs.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Like,
It's funny because I don't know if, Niner Nation, I don't know if you know this about softball players, but that exact thing, I bet every team has had something like that.
it's a universal experience.
It just
On
like
all levels.
things come up and then all of a sudden they're big. And I don't know why that happened. I think it was literally like probably that day, just somebody hit a bomb and then I ran out there with it and then it just got more and more like, I guess bigger. I left the ball in my senior year, we went to the World Series. So I left the ball like with the trophy at Nebraska. So it's there and it's just funny how things happen. And I guess we have the chain and the crown. So we'll keep it going.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm going to tell a little funny story really quick about Anna. One of the years she got everyone these little ducks.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave them out personally, and each one was dressed different. And we all had to bring our ducks to the game. And when we were rallying, they had to line up. So fans, if you remember, this was a couple years ago, if you would ever see a duck, it was one of those things. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was an epidemic through the dugout in the bullpen. I mean, you could be in the batter's box and look out over the left field wall, and there's Brooke Bowling with a plastic duck holding it
That's
with
awesome.
all her might. I mean, it's just
you need something,
Yeah,
exactly. I know. I love it.
Well, it's nice to know that as a coach, you are fun. I mean, there's no better word. I think you also feel that with the girls. This is a big weekend, but you said last week you don't get nervous, you get excited, and it was this weekend I could kind of feel that of like playing big opponents. It didn't feel like the girls kind of felt like they were nervous. Kind of felt like they were pretty relaxed, especially in the box. Now that you've had 2 weekends under your belt, what do you think you've learned from this team? Like, what is your biggest takeaway from this group of girls?
Yeah. I mean, again, I think we've learned a lot. I think we've seen a lot of progress from, week to week. I felt that, our hitting really came on this week. And, even we go from the LSU game and, had Hebner throw a gem, but then we faced another really good freshman from UCLA. And I felt like our bats were a lot more competitive. And I just didn't feel like the moment was too big for anybody this weekend, even though it was such a big tournament and, just a great atmosphere for softball and, for our program to be a part of. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of the stuff that I knew. I felt like we have the pieces to compete and to compete against the best teams on any given day. And, I keep harping on this, and there's really not much more we can say. If we can clean up the defense and if we can play a clean game, I feel like we have the depth in the circle, and I feel like we are having arms that are getting a lot of experience and that, complement each other, and that they're really keeping us in games and giving us a great opportunity to go out and win. We've got to back them up more. And, the defense is just the biggest place that I harp on. And, I have a lot of confidence in the people that are out there. I've seen them play great defense. I've seen them make the routine plays. I've seen them make the great plays. I've seen them, go out and compete and kind of put all the innings together. So I know that it's possible, and I know that we have the ability to clean it up. And when we do that, I think, we talk about putting all three facets together. We have the hitters up and down the lineup. We saw production not only from the top, but, from the bottom, from the middle. Like it was balanced this weekend. And, it was just really great to see production like that. And so, again, I think we're gritty. We are scrappy, and, we really never gave up. We fought like like crap to be in those games. And I believe Auburn, we got a lead, then we got down, then we came back, and San Diego, we were down, we got a lead. Like we've Texas A&M, we were down, we came back. Liberty, I think, was kind of the same, but like we are not giving up. We are believing, and we're fighting, through each game and through each inning. And I think that we've seen a lot of positive to build off of.
That's great.
It is. That's awesome. I think too, we've said it 100 times, but all of that is momentum. It's promise. And I think all that moving into next week, or I guess it's this week now. You got Clemson tomorrow, Lehigh, Albany, and Ball State. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
This weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What's our mentality going into this week and this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of the same, more the same. Just really want to put all three facets of the game together. Obviously feel like we've had a lot of tough games, and the games ahead are going to be tough as well. Just in a little bit different setting. We've got Clemson tomorrow. And, we go on the road for our first midweek, which will be a test, and, a very good team that finished the weekend in Clearwater out on a really strong note. Looking to the weekend, we're just excited that we get to play at home finally. Might be a little chilly, but want to get out and, enjoy playing at home, playing in front of our fans. And just competing hard, competing the right way. And again, just really want to stack the three facets of the game together.
Definitely. I mean, I'm glad they moved up the game of Clemson. It's going to be a little chilly, but I will be there Friday. You'll see me out there. But I mean, we talk about this a lot of firsts for a lot of girls, and it's going to be a lot of girls' first home game. That's super exciting. I hope they enjoy the Charlotte fans as much as I do. But looking towards the weekend, not that these teams are any less, but kind of a different mentality of weeks before have been top 25 teams. They've been powerhouses. Is there a different mindset going into this weekend, besides Clemson, or is it the same exact mindset going out?
I think it's the same mindset. My big thing and my takeaway or my kind of pregame message to the girls, even for this weekend, it's not about the other team. It's not about who we're playing. It's about us. Like, we need to play against ourselves every time we go out there. It's, definitely not the same where we're like top 25, Power 5. But for us, really, that's not about what this is, and it's not about who we play. It's about playing ourselves and showing up and putting our best foot forward every day. And we want to come out and just try to get wins, and we gotta stack good innings on top of good innings and win pitches. So I don't think the mindset is any different depending on who we play. We just gotta go out and play to the best of our ability and play for each other.
Love it. That'll be great. I think too, Madison and I know firsthand what a Charlotte fan base looks like. Although the players may change, I'm convinced that there's not ever much variation in the support system, in a good way, of course. But it's exciting to be on the other side of it, and we both felt that last year. Nothing wavers this year too. So we're excited to be right there on the wagon with everybody else, and just show our support, prove that we really do bleed Niner green. We'll say it until people believe us, but no, that's awesome, and we can't wait to watch. So it's gonna be great. I know full weekend this weekend for Charlotte Athletics. We got women's lacrosse at noon on Saturday, baseball at 2, then softball's playing at 3 and 5. So if people don't have anything to do, they might as well just hang out all day.
Yep. Bring a jacket.
There you go, and bundle up.
It's going to be great. Yeah, we're excited. We've got good slate of games, and campus should be buzzing.
Yep.
Definitely. I mean, it's your first Charlotte home game also. I mean, have you gotten to really experience a Charlotte fan base just quite yet, or is this going to be your also first experience? Because I mean, had some fall games and been to a couple events, but I guess are you looking forward to actually having some Charlotte fans cheer you on this time?
Yeah, definitely. We had fall games that we had a big support system there. Felt like it was hard for fans to find a seat, which is awesome in the fall. So, really looking forward to having, being able to play in front of our fans. Again, it's a little cold. I know we've got a lot of games, and, we'll be interested to see how the turnout is, but I know that Niner Nation is going to come out and support this team and support what we're doing. So, excited to be in a real game in the spring, not in the opponent dugout. But looking forward to just seeing everybody out there.
Definitely. I mean, we don't want to skip over Tuesday. Elephant in the room. You're going back home a little bit. You spent a couple years there. What are you looking forward to most going back there?
Yeah, Clemson's a special place. Obviously, huge in my life, and just looking forward to going back and seeing all the people there, staff, the girls, just a lot of people that I care about, and excited to go back and see everybody, but ready to compete and ready to get after it. So looking forward to it.
I guess my question, I don't know, I'm not super familiar with Clemson's lineup. I'm more familiar with Charlotte's, but are a lot of those girls returners? Have you coached a lot of them?
There was a pretty big turnover from last year. There was a big senior class that graduated. But I would say, I've coached or I've recruited, everybody there. So definitely have a lot of ties, and excited to see them. Saw some of them down in Clearwater this weekend, kind of different fields and stuff. But saw some people, but definitely a lot of people that I'm very familiar with.
You got some inside knowledge on them, hopefully.
I was going to say, if you recruited them and coached them, sounds like this is a pretty easy scouting report. But
that's where I was going with the question. I was like, so how many of them do we really know?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to go out there and compete, and, hopefully we can get them out and hit the ball well.
Yeah.
There you go. Are we going to do it politely? Are we going to chirp a little bit? What's our attack plan? Because I can get behind either one. I just got to know.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll be polite and, playfully chirp. But I'll be, I guess, when I'm over there in the third base box, I'll kind of, give the third baseman a little crap. We'll see.
There you go.
We expect nothing less.
Exactly.
My MO.
Yeah.
There you go. No, well, like we said, we're excited. Well, I don't know about Madison. I won't be making it on Tuesday, but we'll be watching. So
it'll be on TV this time.
Okay.
So
okay. Good.
I won't have to yell at my TV again. That's good news.
Yeah, that'll be good. It was unfortunate that switch had to be made, but we should be good to go.
Good. Well, then you'll hear us yelling through the TV if we're lucky, but we'll be there cheering you on nonetheless.
Hopefully a lot of good things to yell at the TV for.
There you go.
Yes. One last thing. I'm going to call out those jerseys, the new ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
those were good looking.
Yeah. I'm so envious.
Those, I rarely have uniform envy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some uniform envy there. I was like, that is a good looking jersey. So I want to call out our new charcoal, I guess. They're not really gray, but they look good.
Yeah. Charcoal. I think Nike calls that anthracite, but or however you pronounce it. But they did look good. They look sharp, and I know the girls enjoyed wearing them. You know, they're new, so they're like, this is awesome.
Madison, do you know the glitter combo we could have done with black jerseys? Or the ribbon colors? Are you kidding?
I don't know. I feel like I was begging for that color like my entire career. I was like, hear me out. Gray.
I think they were supposed to get here last year and they got delivered pretty late. So, you know, we're happy to pull them out for the first time in Clearwater.
They look
well,
good.
On Alumni Day, Madison and I will happily try them on.
All right, we'll see what we can do there. Perfect.
Whatever. You don't have to, but we will.
And they're back.
There they are.
You caught me typing.
Me?
What are you grading papers?
Yeah, actually, you know, what did you say that color was, Coach?
Well, Nike says anthracite.
The next time I cook something and my wife says, "What happened to this?" I'm going to say, "Oh, it's anthracite."
Yeah.
Did you burn this?
Let us know how that works out for you.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the feedback.
It's anthracite. I don't even know what that means. I'm going to have to Google that and find out what that's about.
It's Nike style color.
Now, they've always got to have something, right? It's got to
Can't
be
be
something.
gray.
Can't be gray. Can't be black. It's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
All right.
Well, I think that about wraps us up for this week. It's about all we have time for. So, of course, as always, thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure to tune in live at the Sioux this weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Watch us put a hurting on Clemson, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys same time next week. Go Niners.
Go Niners.